Hi, and thank you to everyone for joining us today. My name is Carolyn King, and I'm happy to welcome you all to the Pulsar Virtual Summit Europe 2021. As a member of the Pulsar community for the past 2 years, I've been impressed by the growth and engagement in the community. I'm excited to be here today and to welcome all of our speakers and attendees. I'll kick off today's event with some event details, as well as to share some recent project and community highlights. Then I'll hand it over to our Apache Pulsar PMC Chair, Matteo Merli. We'd like to start by thanking everyone who has put so much time and effort into making this event happen, beginning with our event hosts, Stream Native and Clever Cloud. It takes a lot of heavy lifting to put on this type of event, and we'd like to thank these two companies for their support. We'd also like to give a big thanks to our community sponsors. These sponsors went above and beyond to help promote the event and to support the Apache Pulsar community. In addition to our hosts and our community sponsors, we'd like to acknowledge the time and effort of the program committee. This group spent the time to review each submission and to put together this amazing agenda. They helped to ensure that today is filled with interesting and informative sessions for each of you. And last but not least, we'd like to thank each of our speakers. They each bring unique Pulsar experiences and expertise and have amazing sessions planned. We encourage you to reach out to all of our sponsors, program committee members, and speakers to connect both during and after the summit. And if you haven't joined the Pulsar Slack channel, now is a great time to do so. You can join speakers as well as fellow attendees for real-time discussions on the Pulsar Summit sessions in the Pulsar Summit Slack channel. Now, with that, we'd like to talk about some Apache Pulsar community highlights. The Apache Pulsar community and project has witnessed considerable growth over the past couple of years, and we'd like to acknowledge some of the recent benchmarks that have helped us to see just how much the community's grown. The first that we're going to look at is the number of contributors. In May of this year, the community hit 400 contributors, which was a major milestone. In October, we're well on our way to almost 450. In addition to contributors, we've also seen a large growth in the number of GitHub stars. We've recently surpassed 9,700 GitHub stars. And this is really exciting because it represents more than a 2x growth in just the past 2 years. Now, to put that growth of the Apache Pulsar community in perspective, we compared monthly active contributors to a well-known adjacent project, Apache Kafka. In 2021, Pulsar surpassed Kafka in the number of monthly active contributors, illustrating the growth, engagement, and growing interest in the Pulsar project. We've also seen an increase in engagement in community events. To date, we've held 3 global Pulsar summits, 2 in North America and 1 in Asia. The Pulsar summits have attracted more than 110 speakers, more than 2,100 attendees, and hundreds of companies globally. We've seen a number of companies across industries as well as across regions. Key companies participating and attending have included companies such as Flink, Iterable, Intuit, Disney, Yahoo Japan, and many more. I'd also like to mention we'll host one more summit this year, which will be the Pulsar Summit Asia 2021. This event will be held November 20th and 21st, and will be a hybrid event with both in-person talks as well as online sessions. The event will also include a 1-day in-person Pulsar training, and you can find out more on the Pulsar Summit website. Now, while we're eager to get back to in-person meetups and to spend time with everyone, we're happy to see the community continue to connect virtually in 2021. We had a number of Pulsar meetups with different communities, including a Pulsar plus Flink event which was hosted by Uber and Stream Native earlier this year, as well as another event hosted by Splunk in April. We've also been expanding our community partnerships to help grow awareness of Apache Pulsar, working with community partners from Ververica to Scylla to TiDB to Aerospike. And we look forward to continuing our growing partnerships. But virtual meetups aren't the only way to get involved. We've also seen a number of new webinars, new blog posts, and other tutorials and Pulsar resources popping up online. I'd like to direct you to a couple of new books that we have that have been published this year. The first is O'Reilly's Mastering Apache Pulsar by Joanza Joseph and Manning's Apache Pulsar in Action by David Karamgard. You can download free copies of both of these books at streamnative.io. And I'd like to share one final learning and training resource with the Pulsar community. New this week, there's a free on-demand Pulsar training at streamnative.io, rather at academy.streamnative.io. So for anyone looking to up-level their Pulsar skills, this is a great resource available to the community. Now, with that, we'd like to talk through a couple of the recent Pulsar project highlights. Starting with Pulsar 2.8.0. So the week of our Pulsar Summit North America, the Pulsar community released 2.8 with a number of exciting new features, such as transactions, exclusive producers, and many more. You can find out a ton more details on the blog post for Pulsar 2.8.0. And as an update to that, we're excited to announce that in September, the community released Pulsar 2.8.1, which included a number of bug fixes and stability fixes across a wide range of Pulsar features. Now, in addition to updates with 2.8.0, we've also been excited to see updates with the Pulsar connector, which was just recently released upstream in Flink 1.14. With this release, teams can now start interacting with Pulsar from Flink applications, making it easier than ever. And they can be assured that the Pulsar connector will continue to see improvements as Flink continues to evolve. We'd like to thank the engineers from Ververica and from Stream Native for collaborating on this update. Another standout feature is Kafka on Pulsar, known as KOP. KOP was originally open sourced in early 2020, but it continues to grow in interest and usage, with more organizations beginning their adoption of Pulsar with KOP. Recent releases further improve KOP's performance, and we encourage you to find out more online. And as a final project update, we'd like to share a number of ecosystem updates, starting with the Cloud Storage Sync. Cloud Storage Sync allows for writing data from Pulsar to S3, GCS, and many others. And with recent releases, further improvements have been made. The Pulsar ecosystem also continues to further integrate with AWS, with recent releases of sources and syncs to integrate support for SQS and Lambda being added. Now teams can consume data into Pulsar directly from SQS and can trigger AWS Lambda functions when messages are in a Pulsar topic. So lots of great updates from the project perspective. Now with that, let's go ahead and jump into today's event. So the Pulsar Summit Europe is a one-day event. We're going to begin the summit today with 3 keynotes on the main stage. First, we'll have Matteo Merli presenting some project updates. Then we'll hear from our co-hosts, Clever Cloud, as they talk about using Apache Pulsar to build a foundation backbone for Clever Cloud. And then we'll hear a joint presentation from Stream Native's Addison Hyam and Ryan Zhu from Apache Spark and Databricks. Once the keynotes are done, we're going to break into 2 tracks. The first track will be the Pulsar use cases track, and the second will feature technology deep dives. You can find a full schedule on Hopin and on the Pulsar Summit website. I'll be hosting on stage 1, and my colleague Timothy Span will be hosting on stage 2. You can drop any questions directly into the chat, the Pulsar Summit Slack channel, or you can email us at events@streamnative.io with any questions. Many of the speakers will be available for live Q&A at the end of the session. Your track moderator will let you know. We encourage you to, as the talks are going, as the sessions are going, we'd like to keep them as interactive as possible. So please drop any questions you may have into the chat, and we'll address those at the end of the session. Finally, how to get involved. So as mentioned, you can go ahead and join the Apache Pulsar Slack channel. If you're already there, we encourage you to join Pulsar Summit channel. You can also sign up for our Stream Native newsletter on Apache Pulsar and check out any upcoming Pulsar trainings. Now, with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Matteo Merli to get us started with our first keynote today. Thank you, Matteo.